Howdy folks, it's Jim Moore and my son Zack Rooney. We're coming at you, going to talk a little bit about the Cowboys today. I know the big news coming out, the possible signing of OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., the guy that stuck it to us on Monday Night Football with the big one-handed catch. Made the cover of all the big news magazines. I hated him from that day forward. It's almost like signing T.O.
Yeah.
For me, if he could help us this year and the money was right, I may sign him, but otherwise, he's 30 years old, second ACL.
On the same knee, that's what gets me about the ACL injury. It's the same knee, he's done it twice already.
I don't know if I want it.
We've got the money. I think our cap space is $22 million. But I agree with you. If he can help us this year, especially in the postseason, I mean, we definitely don't need him the way we're rolling right now.
I mean, CD's doing great.
Michael Gallup's coming back.
Michael Gallup is doing great. Noah Brown, we got triple threat on tight ends.
We got dual-headed monster in the backfield of the running backs.
I think one of the things that kills a football team is, Jerry Jones mentioned it. You sign one guy, how many players does that mean you can't sign? And what happens this year is we have a deep roster. And we just lost Anthony Brown probably for the year. I think he broke his foot or something.
He had ruptured his Achilles. Yeah, he's
that's right. That's
done
right.
for the season.
He's done for the season. And Jordan Lewis is out.
Had that ligament in his foot.
Yeah.
For the year.
So that's what made the New England Patriots good for so long is, well, they had Belichick and Tom Brady, but they didn't overspend on superstars.
Exactly.
And, we just paid Dak that monster contract. Next year, Tony Pollard's got to eat. I'm just telling you, so Thunder and Lightning, I don't want to lose Zeke Elliott because he's our Thunder. He picks up the blitz great.
Oh, he does. He has that pickup blocker in the backfield that Tony doesn't. But Tony, he's lightning, as you said. He can gash you for 50.
Yeah.
Like rookie Zeke used to be able to.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I don't know. To me, the number one off-season pickup for me will be keeping Dan Quinn in the house.
I agree with that 100%. He has built another Legion of Boom, I think.
Yeah.
We have it. I mean, you got to look at the rookies even coming in. Deron Bland, who had even heard of that guy? You know what I mean?
He's undrafted, I believe.
He's got 2
5th
picks.
or 6th round, yeah.
And Sam Williams.
Oh, yeah.
You got to give it up for that cat.
Yeah, we thought when we lost
Randy Gregory. Scott was falling.
Yeah.
But Dorrance Armstrong, that's another guy. I think we got to pay him this offseason too, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, so we got some things.
Leighton Vander Esch is on a one. This is his contract.
Yeah. And that linebacker, the one from LSU we had, and he got hurt, but now he's not getting playing time because that other guy, I can't remember his name.
You talking about Jabril Cox?
Jabril Cox is not getting, he's not getting any time. And I love the depth, going into the season, what's the Cowboys going to do at linebacker? And now we're letting people go.
Yeah, because we don't need them.
Because of the depth. And that's what happens. You get a coach like Dan Quinn and for that defense, and he brings the best out of them. And, of course, what can we say about Micah Parsons?
Yeah, and Micah Parsons, I think he makes the defense go. Dan Quinn definitely gives him the motor, that fire inside of him. But Micah, man, if quarterbacks and offenses didn't have to worry about number 11.
I haven't seen a guy on the defense change a game. I know you don't remember, but I remember because I couldn't stand him because I'm a Cowboy fan. And he played for the Giants, Mr. LT, Lawrence Taylor. He could single-handedly, from the defensive position, take over a game.
And win it, yeah.
And, in the league we have the J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt, and, some of these guys are defensive end guys, and, but Micah can do it all.
Yeah.
When he's lined up to rush the passer, look out.
You got a second and a half, 2 seconds at tops. His run defense, that's the thing I think a lot of teams are afraid to run towards Micah. But when you see it happen in game, that's his weak point. When the offense is running straight at Micah, or if he has to drop back into pass coverage, you see his game fall off. I'm not going to say he struggles at it, but he's not a top-tier outside linebacker who can cover the pass. But, yeah, his edge rushing is insane. Him and D-Law on the other side, Dorrance Armstrong coming in there. And I think if you lose Dan Quinn, you see a lot of that stuff fall off.
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn will be our number one offseason pickup. And I tell you, one time I didn't like Mike McCarthy because he was at our nemesis, Green Bay.
Yeah, he always beat us.
Cannot stand Green Bay. Sorry about you Packers fans. If y'all got rid of Aaron Rodgers, maybe I could pull for him a little bit more. But that guy stuck it to us for years. We thought we had him this year.
And he still pulled a horseshoe out of his hand.
We choked. We handed it to him on a silver platter. Aggravating. But anyway, I was hesitant about Mike McCarthy. But, Sean Payton is right there. And, he's coming back. And for me, I love Sean Payton when he was an offensive coordinator under Bill Parcells. But
can't forget what he did at New Orleans.
Yeah, but his record wasn't as good as Mike McCarthy's.
Yeah.
At Green Bay. He had Drew Brees.
You got to think Mike McCarthy.
Aaron Rodgers.
He led the Packers to that 15-1 season. They got beat by New York at Lambeau that year, and that was New York's crazy run in the playoffs. We don't have to talk about it. But I like the Mike McCarthy pickup. I really do.
I think the one thing that's made a difference for us this year, last year in the playoffs, we went to San Francisco and we got slapped around like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
This year, we are slapping people around like a redheaded stepchild. There's a toughness in that team, especially on the defense. I love it on the offense. I love to see those guys getting out in space, lead blocking.
I mean, how about
cleaning the holes,
lowering shoulders on people?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, there's a toughness I haven't seen in this team. And teams take on the personality of their head coach. Mike McCarthy's an old Pittsburgh guy.
Oh yeah,
and he's tough and he's hard,
nosed.
and that's what it takes. And Jimmy Johnson said the other day, when Dallas is hitting, he's not a team in the NFL can beat them.
Yeah, Dallas will be their biggest opponent. If Dallas don't get in Dallas's way, I'm gonna say it. I think you could see that Dallas team in the Super Bowl. I know you hear it every year. This is our year. This is our year. Something's different about this team.
They got a toughness.
Maybe it is the toughness.
They got a defense. They got a toughness.
They got some just moxie about them, and it's not. Tony Romo days, it was just one-sided. Our offense would drop 50, we'd give up 51. Our offense can drop 50, and you can score 3 on us now. I mean, we've just got it on both sides. When we're clicking,
yeah. When you can get the ball on a 10-yard line, drive 90 yards, 7 minutes off the clock, pounding the rock.
And
that's the way you got to do it.
It's a winning recipe for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Kellen Moore finally figured that out too.
Yeah.
Instead of being so daggone pass happy, you could tell we finally run our offense through our running backs. And it should have been that way.
Well, last year they were putting up big points. And then, Dak gets our first game of the season. We're back up quarterback. We're being very conservative. Dak comes back, and since Dak comes back,
we're leading the league in scoring again in that span.
And number one defense.
Yeah.
Top 5 defense, number one turnovers and sacks and all of this stuff. So this is a recipe for Super Bowl.
It really is. And I mean, we thought we had it in 2014 with the Dez catch. But as we've spoke on it before, that team didn't have this defense.
No, we haven't had this defense since the early 90s.
This defense this year is better than last year's. I mean, just look at the numbers.
Yeah,
we really are
better.
And speaking on numbers of just betterness, Trayvon Diggs, man. We heard all that stuff. He gave up the most yards in football history. When have you ever heard about yardage given up by a cornerback? Never. If you wear the star, you're going to get criticized. Man, he ain't getting dusted this year. He got dusted against the Rams on that.
When you lead the league in interceptions, teams like Dion, prime time when he used to play for us or wherever he played, he was the lonely cornerback because nobody went his way.
Yeah.
Because you were foolish
to
go his way. Now, he's a Hall of Famer, probably the best cornerback to ever play the game, and I'm not putting Diggs in this category, but he's starting to get left alone over there on that sidelines. He's a great pickup, and I just love the swagger of this defense.
You can just see it on everybody. Tank's got it back in. And remember, I used to get so mad at Tank. Man, he just looked like he didn't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But he brings that fire, and that comes with Dan Quinn.
Oh,
Jerron Kearse's career was over pretty much. He went through the Vikings. He was on the free agent, got picked up to a practice squad. They cut him. Come to Dallas, and we were like, who is this cat?
Mm-hmm.
He leads our defense now, too. And Dan Quinn, he's got it, man.
Yeah, we got to keep Dan Quinn. I hope Jerry can keep him in the house. Of course, you want to see coaches go on and do better or better for themselves and stuff like that. But I say, why not wait 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, let's get us a Super Bowl.
And let's get 3 or 4 Super Bowls under our belt, and then Dan, you can go on. And I'm proud of. I'm proud of our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore too. He's really done good. I think
he needs to quit those trick plays though.
I can't stand it.
I don't like them double reverses, fake reverses. This ain't college football. He's got to get that out of his DNA.
Yeah. But I just think with having Bones Fossil over there,
that's one of the top.
Mike McCarthy has put together a very high quality staff.
He has. Yeah.
And it is showing up. I think this is one of the best teams since the Jimmy Johnson days the Cowboys have put on the field. Now what we got to do is, now my second favorite team has become the New York Giants because they have to play the Philadelphia Pukey Eagles twice.
They got to take one of those games.
I'm hoping Saquon Barkley runs for
wild on them.
500 yards each half of each game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I have disliked the Eagles since the Buddy Ryan days. I know division rivalries there. If you Eagle fans out there, I'm sorry, but
you're watching the wrong guys.
You're watching the wrong guys. I mean, the stinking Eagles. And I tell you, I watch them, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't think they're as good as their record shows. I don't know why. Jalen Hurts doing all this stuff. I just don't think they're that good. We should have beat them with the backup quarterback.
They come out and smoked us. I mean, they just punched us in the mouth in that first half. We come back roaring in that second half, and we made that a game again. And that's a game every Dallas fan out there, and I know you guys, we've been itching for Week 16. Week 16, Philadelphia, they got to come back to Jerry's World. We're going to have Dak Prescott.
I'm saying it's going to be another Minnesota Colts blowout.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
And they're going to say what's happening, and Philadelphia's going to be stumbling and bumbling going into the playoffs. Dallas is going to win the division, going to get the home field advantage.
I'd love it. I would love to see that. That's a juggernaut at home. We finally can say that now.
Yeah.
Dallas. I mean, last year we were iffy. I mean, I think we got blowed out 40 to something by the stinking Broncos at home. This year, you don't want to play us at home. I mean, we even gave the Bucs a pretty good little fight, and that was our shakiest game.
It was our worst stinking game, the way to start out. I can't believe. And Tom Brady and the Bucs have stunk it up ever since, and still leading the division with 6 wins.
Yeah, they snagged one last night too. Tom Brady had another last-minute drive.
Yeah, what did he score? It was 16-3. They scored 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
One of our quarterbacks, my man, not Roger Staubach, but Mr. Troy Aikman, he didn't have near the comeback wins that Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and all those guys have. You know why? Because we wasn't behind.
Yeah, we didn't have to have this.
We didn't have to play from behind. I hope Dak Prescott doesn't lead in that category. That's not a category you want to be in.
And with our defense, I don't think you'll see us have to do a lot of comebacks.
No. And go ahead.
And Dak is on he's just surreal this year at the line of scrimmage. He commands the offense that we haven't seen Dak do ever.
He's coming to his own. He's matured.
You can tell.
He's matured. Sometimes
when you've got 5 seconds in the pocket, Dak, and you throw a pick, you can't be he ain't John.
Yeah.
I mean, you threw that ball right to Gilmore. You had that awful throw to CD that was way behind him. He's off on some throws. He ain't completely elite yet. But he's in that. He's an above average.
He's moving up.
Yeah,
he's moving up. I mean, you got your Patrick Mahomes, your Josh Allens, and I'm going to take a little time to talk about somebody else up in the AFC. We talked about him the other day.
Joe Burrow.
Mr. Joe Burrows. I'm telling you what, you guys in that division right there better watch out because they're coming. They're peaking. Mark my words. You see what they did to Kansas City on Sunday? They're coming. Everybody's first of the year. I'm glad Dallas played them early.
Yeah.
Because I have a suspicion we may meet them again in the bowl.
I could see it in the big game, yeah.
Because Josh Allen and those guys, I mean, they're big stud quarterbacks. Jets are doing good.
The Jets are doing good, and that's because their defense is insane this year. That Sauce Gardner guy they picked up in the draft, man, he was a stud. That was a good pickup right there.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, Joe Burrow, there's a quality about Joe Burrow that he's cool, calm, collected. He goes out, he expects to win, he puts in the work. Top-notch wide receivers they got over there. I know they were down a little bit on the offensive line, but Joe Burrow is just a flat winner. And Joe Burrow is going to be there for a while. And I'm going to tell you what, if the owners will put some people around Joe Burrow, sky's the limit for that kid. Sky's the limit.
Powerhouse there, it really could.
Yeah, because it's like Kansas City with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you're going to be in the hunt. Just
every year, yeah.
And they are. Because the daggone Raiders are a mess. I don't know why. They're always a mess. They need to go back. Well, I won't say. You don't know what the Chargers are going to do. They have all the talent in the world. Maybe Sean Payton goes out there and gets them squared away. I don't know. Denver's a bust. God help you, Andy Bach out there. My brother, I know you're upset about the Denver. They look horrible. They look horrible. Russell Wilson, I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson.
I think you've seen a quarterback who just had everything around him in a great position at Seattle. And he was put in a situation where you would make a bad team good, and he can't do that. He don't have the offensive firepower he used to have. He don't have his Tyler Lockett. He's got Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, but those guys are hitting. They're up and down every week. They're route running. They're just not crisp every week.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson's a guy that needs that. He's not a guy that makes a team better. He's a very good role player.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think in the AFC, we're coming down to that time. It's starting to be crunch time. Dallas, we got to win out. We got to win out. I mean,
we got Houston coming up, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then the Philadelphia Eagles, which I'm telling you, there's three right there.
We got to win out. We got 5 games left, I believe. We got to win out. And we hope the Eagles lose out.
Yeah.
We hope the Eagles lose. We don't care about the Redskins. We can't say Redskins.
Yeah.
The Commanders, whatever they are. We don't care about them. We don't care about the Giants. We don't beat them. Well, we got to play Washington one more time. Washington's they're tough. I'm gonna tell you what.
Riverboat Ron knows how to make a football team play.
He's tough.
Yeah.
He's gritty. I don't like him just because of the spanking he put on us a few years ago on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, with stupid Cam Newton, you broke Tony Romo's collarbone again. Yeah, I can't forgive him for that.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that was
after a nice big Thanksgiving dinner.
I wanted to throw
and then Riverboat Ron and Cam Newton doing a super. Yeah, some things we just hold a grudge over. But let me get two more quick subjects right here. One, my Hall of Famer number 21, prime time, is leaving Jackson State, going to Colorado to the Buffaloes. What do you think on that?
I think we'll see how good of a coach Dion really is. I mean, he's leaving a team that was 11-1.
No, they're 12-0 this year. 12-0.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So an undefeated team in Colorado was 1-11.
Yeah.
So
that's
now
right.
It's time to see. Not time to see because Prime Time's got it in him. He's going to make players play. It's just he's good at that. But I think he'll be playing more competition this year. He's not going to be in one of those lower schools. He'll be playing higher competition, which he's got his son there with him again. His son's going to be the quarterback for Colorado.
Yeah, he's going to transfer.
So I think I like that move.
I'm going to tell you what, Deion wasn't just a good player. Deion put in the work, in the study. I remember Michael Irvin saying when they would fly back from games, he'd be watching game film for next week. Deion puts in the work. Deion will demand good character. He will demand top-notch play. He will demand from his coaches, because that's the way Deion is. Deion Sanders, like him or not, he's a winner.
He is.
And I'm going to tell you what. There'll be a lot of kids at Colorado leave because of Deion. But there'll be a lot more that'll come. And you know what? If you're going to be playing college football, you better bring it.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
You better bring it. And they're going to be playing high-profile games.
Yep.
And on national TV. And I'm telling you, Deion will put Colorado back on the map.
I believe it. I really do. And some of those guys Colorado had, I've been doing some studying on that team. They've got 2 really good wide receivers there at Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to get a really good quarterback with a really good coach who's going to bring in good coaches. I mean, you said it. I believe it. I think Colorado's going to have a splash season this year.
I think they're going to get 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah.
Which they got 1 last year. And then, it depends on what they get out of the portal. What they're recruiting. I heard he just got a big receiver, got him committed, because Deion knows what's going on. He's going to get the best. And the thing I like about Deion, too, is he will demand character.
Yeah.
He will demand character out of his players.
Why you'll see a lot of those kids leave.
Yeah.
Because his aura about him will make those guys uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll leave. They'll shy away from what Deion will pull out of you. Mm-hmm. And that's what you will see a lot of those guys leave.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, I think he's going to do good. And
I do too.
Hope Jackson State and Deion, they win that championship they're playing for here maybe this weekend. Deion's back there coaching them up, and then bringing his luggage, headed out to Colorado. Now, the last topic I'm going to cover here is this coming weekend. I believe it's this weekend. Virginia High School AA State Championship's going to be played in Salem. Your old arch rival, the Graham G-Men, are going to be playing in yet another state championship, I think against West Woodstock or East Woodstock. I can't remember who. You'd think people go on YouTube would get more information, but they really wasn't my concern. My thoughts was on the Graham G-Men. And let me tell you something. Back in the day when we played, we never did beat Graham. I remember we lost to them in, I believe, 82, 6-3 in the snow blizzard game at Mitchell Stadium. 6-3. I mean, it was a stinking blizzard up there. I believe that was 82. Then we never did win. And then you come along and you're playing down here for the Richlands Blue Tornadoes under Coach Zeus Mance. And you guys rock and rolled. You guys were always where Graham is now. Deep runs in the playoffs, state championships, trying to beat Appomattox, which Graham, and I like Appomattox. God bless Appomattox. We played them twice, lost to them both times. Should have beat them the first time.
Should have beat them that first game.
But we lost to them the next year in the state championship, and they had to travel this year to play Graham at Mitchell Stadium. I think Graham handled them pretty good. Their running back, what did he have? 7 touchdowns, and 400 to some yards rushing.
That's surreal.
I think Graham has got a real chance to win the state championship. But my question to you is, Zach Rooney, are you pulling for Graham?
That's a hard one. I want to, because that's a Tazewell County school. That's my home. I grew up in this county. But they ended my high school career. And
right on Mitchell Stadium right there.
Still stings. They went on to win the state championship that year against a bum squad.
Now, who did they have that year that's in college right now that we'll probably hear coming out next year?
Cameron Allen.
Purdue. Quarterback for Purdue. And also, I think the year before we played a little guy
James Mitchell.
Mr. James Mitchell,
Who is in the NFL.
who is in the NFL now.
Yeah.
And playing for Detroit.
Yep.
And then there's another guy that's in the NFL. He played right down the road, Mr. Jordan Stout. He is the punter for Baltimore. So there's been some players
come through this area.
And I'm not sure what that running back's name is up there for Graham.
He's got a real chance of being something special.
Yeah. Graham and their coaching staff, man, they just had it going on here in the last few years. So
they've had some real talent go through that school, and I think you're going to see a Blue Tornado era for that school. I really do. They're just going to be dominant for years to come. They've got a lot of big kids, man. Freshmen are walking around, and you're like, that's got to be a senior, and they're like, nah, that's a 15-year-old man.
Yeah. Well, Richlands went from the top to the bottom real quick, so maybe they can turn it back around. But it looks like it's going to be the Graham G men, and then my old alma mater, Tazewell Bulldogs. They seem to be doing good. So anyway, for me, shout out to the Graham G men. Bring home the state championship. Zach, he's still on the fence. So you got anything else?
I would like to see them bring it home. It's another one for the county. But yeah, I am still on the fence about it.
Still on the fence.
Stings still.
All right. Well, guys, that's all we got for you this week. We're going to start doing these little shows, trying to keep you updated. We might get in with, sometimes we get in some heated arguments. We cover all kinds of sports. So anyway, that's Jim and my son, Zack Rooney. And we'll see you guys next week.
How about them Cowboys?